Hello, in this video we're going to talk about integration. So one of the features of Liferay is to integrate different environments in one single view. You can also build application on top of Liferay. So you can have multiple application integrate to a different backend. Those backend can be REST APIs, SOAP APIs, can be database, can be any file system, and also you can build application on Liferay. To do the development in Liferay, we do offer a lot of tools to build application. Basically, if you are a backend developers, you like to use Eclipse Environment, you like to build front end to be like GSPs, maybe some light GSP tags with some light JavaScript, you still can do that. If you want to build a complete JavaScript application using Angular, JS, React, we still have also tool to help you build completely Angular application and integrate in Liferay. So I have this integration video and integration topic on two videos. The first one I'm going to talk about how to use Liferay compiler, build modules and integrate it. The next video will see how we can build an Angular application, not touching any Liferay compiler or tool, build completely an Angular application and deploy in Liferay. So let's see how we can do both. So as an end result, I want to actually show what I built and then I'm going to show you how I built. So the first thing I want to show here is I did an integration with Salesforce. So you can see here I have two modules, and the first module is showing accounts coming from Salesforce, and the second one is showing the contacts inside the accounts. And you can see they can connect together. So if I click on any contacts, you can see the other one get reflected as well. I created other modules that I can also add it to the integration page. So you can see here if I went to my widgets under Salesforce, I have shorts that I create. So I can actually configure it to show, for example, the opportunities that I have inside my Salesforce. So with that being said, you can see here I created a chart to show my opportunities from Salesforce. And this is actually real data coming from a Salesforce account. So I have a development Salesforce account, and you can see those accounts are the one that you see it in Liferay right now. And you can also define how you want this to be arranged. And anytime you click on account, it shows you the contacts inside the account, and it shows you also the opportunities that you have as well. So three modules added on the same page representing different topics from Salesforce, and they collaborate together. If you have other integration with other platform, you still can drag and drop and add them to this page. And for the end user, they don't know where is this data coming from. It's a single view for them that can have all the data they want in one page. So let's see how we can build something like that. All right, so I have already the Eclipse environment open, and you can see here I built some modules for the Salesforce integration. So I build APIs, and then I build my service layer, and then I build my web layer. In this particular example, I actually used AngularJS. So I build AngularJS application inside Eclipse environment, which I do not really recommend it, since when I start doing this, it was actually before we introduce how you can use web tools to build Angular applications. So I use the compiler to build an Angular application inside it. So you can see the module itself inside it. It's basically a G2E application, and then when you dig in inside, or what you can see here, you can see the package, and inside the package you can see what Angular version we are using, and then inside the JavaScript folders you can actually see all the components that was created for that. So you can see here, if I actually went to shorts components, you can see those are the components I have. So basically like an Angular application that was built in Eclipse environment. And again, I don't recommend this. I usually believe if you want to use the Eclipse environment to build modules, it would be just because you want to use GSPs. You do not have familiarity with Angular or React. You're more comfortable using Eclipse. But if you want to build Angular, please follow the next video to see how you can build a complete Angular application and integrate it in Liferay. Right? So let's see how we can build this step by step. Not the whole Salesforce integration, since that would take a long time. I'm going to show you step by step how you can build a module and add it in Liferay. Okay, so I'm gonna actually, I like to start from scratch. So I'm gonna just close everything. Even I'm gonna turn off my browser here. So I'm just gonna turn off everything. All right, and now I'm going to my Eclipse environment. So I'm gonna just open my developer. And the first thing Liferay Developer is gonna ask you where you want to add your workspace. So you can decide anywhere you want. For me, I have a folder here inside my desktop. I'm gonna add it there. Maybe I'm gonna name it here Workspace Demo, right? So I'm gonna launch this, and now you can see it creates my blank workspace. I'm starting from scratch here, so you guys can see step by step how you can do that. So here's the first step I did. The second step I need to do is I need to create a workspace project for me. So on the top here, you go to File, New, and then here under this, there is Liferay Workspace Projects. You click on that one, and you can name your project anything you want. So I'm gonna name it My Project, and just click Finish. And now I have my project created here. So inside that project, you can create modules. So you may know this from my previous video. Liferay is an AGI module platform, so you can create multiple modules that basically represent one application. So as you saw in my Salesforce application, I had APIs, I had web layer, and I had service layer. In this demo, I'm gonna just build one module, but you can also divide your application on separate modules using AGI technology. Okay, so I'm gonna build a new module here. So I'm gonna click Next, New, and then I'm gonna choose Liferay Module Project, and I'm gonna name this one My First. It has to be no space. My First Application. All right, so just name it My First Application, and I'm gonna make it an MVC portlet. So you can see now my module got created here. And from this point, you're basically dealing with a G2E application. You write your backend code, and then you have your front end, which is GSP is that time, and then you're basically writing a G2E application here. So when I go to the source tab, you can see I have the Java part, and here I have my Java application. There is some annotation defined by Liferay, but basically you have your class here. You can start calling your REST APIs. You can build actually service layer here using Spring or Struts, or you can actually use Liferay MVC. I'm sorry, Liferay service layer, which is service builder. We have a complete video for that. And basically write your backend code here. And then for your front end code, you have under the, sorry, where's the file? Here you go. So you have the view.gsp page, and that's basically your front end. So let me just write something pretty simple here. So I'm gonna just write my code and say, uh, welcome to welcome to my first application. Right, so something very simple. Let's see how that works. So once you finish your application, usually in development, you do not need to create your jar files, deploy it to Liferay. You basically want this to happen automatic with every save. So let's see how we can do this. So I'm going to connect my Eclipse environment to my server. So I can come here and I can say I'm gonna choose Liferay 7.x next, and I'm gonna browse where my server is. So here's my server next, and I can deploy it now. I'm not gonna deploy it, so let me just first do it here, and now I can start my server. So now this is what start my server here. So you can see now my server is getting started. The nice thing is if I want my Eclipse environment to always monitor my application with every save they redeploy the application, all what you need to do is just drag and drop the application in the server. So I can drag and drop this application, add it here, and you can see now it will be deployed once the server starts up. All right, so we'll give it like less than 30 seconds, I believe, and then once the server is running, we're gonna test our first application. All right, it's getting there. So the server started. So if I actually went to my browser, let me refresh this again. You can see the server is started now. If I went to the integration page again, so this is coming from Salesforce, but if I click add here, you can see now if I search for my first application, it's under the sample, so I can start drag and drop this on my page now. So I can come here and you can see welcome to my first application. Let's say I do not want it to add it under the category of sample. I want to create my own category. So I can just do this on the fly and it will be reflected on the server. So I can just simply go to my Java class file and you can see here it shows that this is under the sample category. So I'm gonna delete this and make it demo, right? And maybe also I want to change this to make it my first application. So just doing some changes, save that. So this is, you can see here, it get redeployed for me. So if I actually went back here and hit refresh, you can see this has got changed immediately. And also, if I actually search here, there's the demo categories and there's my application available here that I start deploying. So in test environment, you do changes, you save it, it will be reflected immediately in your environment. Let's say you're done with developing application, you actually want to um, build it, deploy it. So you can do this in a very few steps. After you finish here, you go to the Gradle tasks, and then you go to your modules, and then I have that module here, so I can come under build, and I can just run that build Gradle task. You can see got built already since I already have it built, and that's the step you only need to do. And then you basically go to your folder for your workspace. So I have my workspace here already. I go to my module. So here's my module. Under the module here, you're gonna find there is a build folder and there's the library. This is the jar file for your application. You just copy that one and then you go to your server folder. And in my case here, I have the server folder here. You just add it inside the deploy folder. And now once that happens, you can see here will be deployed. Actually, I have it running here, so it should be deployed immediately. And since it's already there, so it just started, so it's override what was it already there. So this is the way you build modules and deploy it. This is kind of like Hello World modules. Of course, you can build way more complex application more than that. So this is Hello World. If you want to see how you can build Angular application and integrate in Liferay, please watch the second video. Thank you.